Good afternoon. It is Thursday, July 8th. This guy I've owned for over 2 years now. Um, it gets a lot of use. I heat the house and the water 100% from wood. My gas is, I had the utilities disconnect my gas years ago, and I got sick of fighting with shitty saws. I've had pull-ons, I've had pretty much everything out there, but it was time to buy a real saw. So 2 springs ago I picked this guy up, and it's got the easy chain tensioner, so I can flip this guy up, loosen it, roll this forward, give it a snap, tighten it back up, flip that down, while I'm running. And it's got the easy start, which is basically just an elastic cord, and you pull it until it reaches its threshold, but you don't have to hork on it like a lot of two-strokes. You just give her a slow, steady pull, and then it pops. But I've tried to do this video a bunch of times. What really impresses me about this saw, that it's very high RPM. It melts through wood pretty fast, and as long as you got a sharp chain. This was a brand new chain 1 tank of fuel ago, and I did not sharpen it after that 1 tank of fuel. I cut this whole pile and this with that 1 tank, but I'm gonna prove what it can actually do with 1 tank of gas. I guess I'll dip into this pile. This one's been sitting here longer, so I'm gonna fuel it up. I'm gonna set the phone down on my handy dandy Ryobi battery, because I've tried to make this video like 3 times, and I propped the camera up on a log once and something else another time, and basically all 3 times there was almost immediately a failure, a problem. As soon as I started cutting, I got about 2 seconds of cutting footage on the time lapse before the phone either turned off from a dead battery or just fell over from a gust of wind. So I'm gonna prop it up on this guy, and hopefully you'll be able to see. Hopefully everything goes smooth and we get the whole thing filmed. So I'm gonna run 1 tank of gas. It's cold. I'm gonna cold start it, let it warm up for 30 seconds, a minute or so, and then I'm gonna dive into the pile there, and we'll see how much wood I make. So we'll just keep this axe here, and then I'll make a new pile, and we'll see what we do in comparison to this with 1 tank. So it's basically just a matter of how fast I can move, but it's really efficient. 1 tank cuts a lot of wood. So alright, I'm gonna set it up on time lapse. Oh, that was a workout. As you can see, my back was starting to get stiff there. I laid stone all day today. Came home to do this. But yeah, still MS180C. I think it's a, oh, she says somewhere on there, 32 cc 2-cycle engine. But yeah, this is a easy face cord, maybe face cord and a half. It's at least the same amount as that. It's all hardwood. It's ash, there's maple in there, birch and willow. Willow's probably the softest stuff in there, and it's pretty hardwood. And this got rained on for the last 2 days, which makes it a little harder to cut. So I'd say the little still did good. $200, best $200 I ever spent. So I'll get this stacked up and come back one more quick time just to show you the stack in comparison to this stack. All right. Well, there it is. The stack is just about, yeah, even with that one. Ends up a little higher and a little bit longer. I think maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say because there's a lot of small ones in here. I definitely cut more logs with this run. There's definitely more pieces than there is over here. These were all larger. So when you got the smalls, you can stack them tighter. There's less gaps in between, but you know, either way, yeah, you know, that pile's a little bit bigger. It was pretty close. But that's an easy face cord. This is, you know, 5 foot tall, about 9 foot, 9 foot long. This is a face cord plus. So, and in Wisconsin, current prices for face cord of hardwood is $85 to $95, depending on the jackass that's gouging you. And I just refuse to pay those prices, so I'd rather put the work in myself. And if I'm going to put the work in myself, I'm going to use tools that can process it with the least amount of effort on my hand. There's a nice light saw. It starts easy. It runs good, fast. I get my gas, you know, it's got good fuel economy, so I get a lot of wood per gas. Same with the splitter. But yeah, I process 16 to 18 face cords every winter. I'll burn it all. This will all get processed, stacked, split and stacked. You know, obviously the small stuff, this does not need to be split. That's good early morning stuff that'll burn up real fast, boost house temperature, and then you put the bigger stuff on after that. And well, I need to stoke it 2 more times. You know, you get a good hot one going in the morning, and you throw 2 big guys in there at noon and 2-3 big guys in there at bedtime, and we're good to go. But winters are long and cold here, so we end up melting a lot. This will all end up getting burned along with the ash back there. Probably at least another pile this big, maybe more, before I hit my 16 face cord mark. I'll have 4 rows. Oh geez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times for 4 rows, you know, about 50 foot long, stacked 4 to 5 foot high, and that pretty well gets me through the winter. I got to bring some more pallets home. We'll get this stuff split, have the girls stack it on the back row there. I gotta drag this guy back in line with that one, add 2 more pallets to complete that row, clear up some space, and then I'll move my processing equipment forward and lay the next row of pallets, and we'll fill all that in. We'll get, you know, 4 rows. You can double stack the pallets, 2 rows. So this will all just be full of wood, and by October, when I need it, it'll be good and dry. I keep it uncovered until about mid-August, and then I drape black rubber over all of it, weight it down with bricks, and just keep the rain off, and that black rubber helps cook it, keeps the surface moisture off, and there's enough wind that manages to get through the brush there, and it helps let the ends breathe, so it wicks out any remaining moisture. And come October, it's ready to burn, ready enough for me. My wood furnace isn't a decorative fireplace, so I don't have to worry about blackening up glass. I run hot fires, so I don't worry about building up creosote or any of that crap. When you run hot fires, you don't build up creosote. When you choke them down and make them burn low and slow, that's when you're building up dangerous gases and tar in your chimney. I don't have that problem. It doesn't get a chance to build up in my system, because I run her high and fast. And that's how you keep a house like that. You know, that's a 70-year-old house with single pane windows. It's the only way to keep that thing warm. Heat from the basement up, vent it into all the rooms, and just keep the fire going. But anyhow, this chainsaw rocks. If you're gonna plan on heating with wood, not, you know, it's light too. So yeah, my back is sore. But if this was a big, you know, 50cc, an 066 or something like that, that's, you know, shit, that's a 50-pound saw. I've already been throwing around rocks all day. I don't want to come home and manhandle some big, huge saw that's going to throw me around. And then if I start to get fatigue, I run the risk of hurting myself. This thing is light and, you know, easy to maneuver. I can basically one-hand it and just melt through hardwood. I chopped half of that pile. That was a big pile. You know, remember, that started about here. I cleared all the way to there. That was a lot of wood. So, and I don't get anything from STIHL for doing these reviews. Any of the products I review, I'm not affiliates for anything. I don't get any kickbacks. I just, you know, I'm a hard-working consumer looking for good products, and if you're watching this, you're also looking for a good product. So whatever, I'll give you my word, that saw is worth $200, and you'll be happy you didn't spend the money on, you know, an Echo or a Poulon or a whatever the hell, you know, Home Depot special. Go find an Ace dealer or a STIHL dealer. Ace Hardware is one of them commonly. I'm sure there's one around. And just get a real saw. Anyhow, thanks for watching. God bless you. Be safe out there.